30-24. This win takes the Titans to 7-3. The Baltimore Ravens fall to 6-4. Definitely an interesting game to watch. If you watch the game defensively, the Titans, first half kind of did a few things that you expected them to do. They weren't stopping teams on third down. Baltimore Ravens were completing those. They just weren't completing them at the right time. The first two drives of the game for the Ravens, they didn't score touchdowns. They kicked field goals. The third one, of course, they scored. That was an issue. That's been an issue with the Titans the entire season. And, of course, that was an issue this game. Well, when the Titans needed it in overtime, they finally got that third down stop they needed, which was huge because that allowed them to get the ball back to the offense. The offense matriculated the ball downfield thanks to the connections between Ryan Tannehill and AJ Brown and Corey Davis. And then the 29-yard run by Derrick Henry to finish off the game leads the Titans to the win. A few key plays in the first half actually happened. One key play that happened in the first half. The Titans were down 14-7 with about 2 minutes, 32 seconds left. Of course, the drive was stopped. However, Pernell McPhee got uh, a he got a roughing the passer called against him, allowing the Titans to extend the drive. They ended up kicking the field goal, puts them down 14-10. That difference of 3 points right there, of course, comes in handy when the Titans are up 24-21 in the fourth quarter. Ravens drive down, kick a field goal. Instead of it being a winning field goal, it's a field goal to tie the game. So those 3 points were a pretty big difference right there. As far as the offense, I would say, Derrick Henry didn't really get, going. He got going in the fourth quarter. There was a couple instances, like for example, the 3rd and 2, the Titans spread the ball out, spread the defense out, and throw the football. It's 3rd and 2 at the goal line. You give the ball to Derrick Henry. You don't throw the football there. That was an issue for me. But hey, in the end, it still worked out. What's going on, Cortland? And that was an issue for me. Oh, by the way, if you haven't signed up, go ahead and sign up for the Haps TV app. If you want to get all your politics, your sports, your art, music, everything, it's all available here at this app with the great journalists around, like guys like Brian Waters. You got Ashley Baker. I mean, you got Danny Thompson. You got Daniel Artest. I mean, the list just goes on and on. A great journalist with providing great info. And those few I mentioned just now, by the way, are sports journalists. But yeah, there's a lot of great journalists available and a lot of great material available. Sign up, check it out, subscribe to somebody, subscribe to the people I just mentioned to you. Trust me, you'll enjoy their work. As far as the Ravens, so what did I think of Derek Roberson? I got a question from Cortland. So what do I think of Derek Roberson? I think he could look good. He could be a solid contributor. I think he's solid. He can be a solid contributor. I thought that going into this year anyway. I just didn't think he got his opportunities once Vic Beasley Jr. got cut. His opportunities came about, and he's being solid as usual, as I thought he would be anyway. Just didn't get the opportunities. As far as the defense, they didn't get any sacks in the regulation, but in overtime they got the first sack of the game. Harold Landry Jr., aka Mr. Consistent, on the outside linebackers. He definitely made a play. No, it's not Cortland Finnegan that's asked the question. It's Cortland Griffin, Rick. Sorry, that's my guy Rick jumping in with the jokes. I mean, I definitely think that Rick, you have an opportunity to do some great things in comedy as well, man. Not no disrespect in that one, but yeah, just yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Rick, I know there's some issues there, but even with that, he still didn't get it. Wasn't going to get his opportunity until you know Big Beasley went down. I mean, Big Beasley was cut, and when that happened, it opened up more playing time for him, time to get him to get on the field actually. So that was a great thing for him in that instance. Uh, as far as the Titans going forward, you know, defensively, they still have some issues. That's just it. They face the Colts again next Sunday. which will be a huge challenge because they're going to the Colts this time. So that'll be a huge challenge. We'll see how that turns out for them. As far as offensively, you saw a few things happen there. I would say this: the great thing that I saw today offensively, Corey Davis, 5 catches. What is it? 5 catches, 113 yards today. Had 7 targets. That's a good thing. AJ Brown, 4 catches, 62 yards, and the monstrous touchdown run. If you didn't see that touchdown run, go to NFL.com, go to Sports Center, go to Twitter. You'll see it there. I actually posted it or retweeted it on my Twitter. The touchdown run, he catches the ball, he he evades 2 tackles, and then he kind of, I guess he gets kind of pushed into the kind of bush pushed into the end zone for the touchdown. Incredible play, two-point conversion by Ryan Tannehill, and Titans were up 24-21. That was a huge play in the game. Titans get it done, 30-24. Definitely can be better. They can be better offensively and defensively. Offensively, they started fast with the first drive and then kind of settled a little bit. Then I would say on the defensive side of the ball, they struggled at times and they eventually got it done. Let's see what we thought about. I got a question. Let's see what we thought about. Be a great when they want to be outside there. They have to catch the bunnies. What do you mean there in terms of oh, drops are hurting us bad. AJ and Corey are what we thought they would be. Great when they wouldn't be outside. But they have to catch the bunnies. Yeah, that is true. They did drop some. Well, I will say this: Corey did good today. I wouldn't say Corey dropped very many. They just hit him right in his hands. But I would say that definitely AJ he dropped one, and I was like, okay. But he definitely has got to be a little bit more consistent sometimes. I mean, last week he was non-existent, didn't show up. Corey Davis, obviously, last week going through a few different things. Obviously the passing of his brother. I can understand him not being quite, in tune with the game. Uh, this is a big game, big win for the Titans, and still some confidence in them. Oh, one thing we're not talking about after this game, the kicking game. Usually we're talking about Gaskowski missing a kick or punts, things like that. We definitely are not talking about that because Gaskowski hit both of his kicks. He actually, he hit his kick. I'm sorry, and he basically hit his kicks and his field goals. He did what he needed to do. And the best thing about today, we're not talking about him doing bad things. All right, and Trevor Daniel, we're not talking about him, so that means he did a great job as well. Of course, a few of the punts I would say were a little shallow, but hey, he didn't fumble a snap, he didn't get one blocked, he didn't shank a punt. So hey, you gotta take the small wins there. Said Corey Cortland says Corey gets paid this offseason though. We'll see what happens with that. I can't guarantee you that it will be the Titans that pay him this offseason. So we'll see what happens. Uh, oh my goodness! Thank God Ghostkowski didn't show up. For those, it's Ghostkowski, not Gaskowski. Thank God Ghostkowski didn't show up, and Gaskowski did. Yeah, definitely a good thing that Ghostkowski didn't show up because oh Lord, that would have been rough. That would have been a rough one. So as far as said Arthur Juan. Oh, I've got a few other comments. Corey Jackson, Arthur Juan Brown. For those that know, that's AJ Brown's full name. Is a beast. Hey, he definitely played well and had a good game. He's a little gimpy towards the end with his knee, which that may be something to look at. I think he's still dealing with that bone bruise, deep bone bruise, and plenty of people will say, "Oh, he's this, that, and other. He's a football player." I'm like, hey, I've had deep bone bruise before. And them things don't go away. They stay around for a while. Let's see. It said Corey Davis was solid. Yeah, Corey Davis was more than solid today. He had some big plays. I mean, most notably that long catch on Marcus Peters. I'll say this: he definitely got the best of Marcus Peters today. There's no doubt about that at all. Marcus Peters is a solid corner, but one thing about him is he guesses a lot, and the Titans took advantage of that. So that's huge. And one other thing today, glad to see Jonnu Smith get involved in the offense. They kind of moved him around a little bit, put him in the backfield one play, put him in the slot. I mean, they did a lot of different things with Jonnu today. And when Jonnu is involved in the offense looks better. It does. It looks better. And yeah, definitely somebody confirmed. Cortland, you just confirmed that. Yeah, if you've ever had a deep bone, this is Cortland talking, by the way. If you've ever had a deep bone bruise, you know, you feel like it's broke and they take forever to heal. That is 100% correct. They do take forever to heal. Yes. So for him to be out there playing with that, hey, that's commendable for him to tough it through that. Oh, one thing today too. It's one guy that I don't think the Titans really missed as much today. That'd be Davion Clowney. Titans really didn't miss him much today at all. I mean, honestly, he did his thing. I mean, he didn't. I mean, I'm sorry, he didn't play today, and the Titans really didn't miss him. They just didn't. He did his. The rest of the team did what they needed to do, and that was it. I mean, honestly, you know, I like I like Davion Clowney. I think he's a very talented in terms of his ability, his athleticism, things like that. Those are great, but let's just be honest. He hasn't really computed when it comes to the stats. The stats in the game. Where is he contributing? He may have a tackle for loss every now and then, or run around like his hair is on fire. But sometimes those have to convert into actual, you know, plays, actual making a play. So that's the issue to me. But again, Titans win 30-24, 7-3. Colts are playing the Colts are playing the Green Bay Packers today. So it could be a Titans versus Colts game next week for the division lead, which is exactly what the Titans want. So we'll see what happens there. Again, my name is Mike Patton. You can catch my Titans work. You can catch that on the 3pointconversion.com. It's the number 3pointconversion.com. Um, Also, you can catch me on Twitter at Mike Patton82. I pretty much live tweeted the entire game today. A few key points out there as well. Cortland got another comment. Addition by subtraction, maybe. Defense looked more balanced and active without him on the field. I wouldn't say they looked more balanced than active. Honestly, I would say they did hold their composure. They did still give up the third downs they usually give up. Um, Derek King made a couple plays. Of course, he made a couple penalties too. But and also you had Byard made a couple plays too. I still expect the Titans to explore bringing in Dean Pease. Dean Pease is ready to come back. And if I'm the Titans organization, I'm kind of pushing him to come back. I'm calling him like, hey, you still got that itch? You want to coach? Come on back. Let's go. Come on. Yeah, if I'm the Titans organization, I'm definitely calling him to see what he thought about the game and see how he can help this team win. Because defensively, they're not going to go very far with how they are. They're just not. They need some help. And if it's not going to be with additions to the team, it's going to be additions to the coaching staff. Yes, they need Dean Pease. They need him now. All right. It's been a Titans post game on Titans Talk post game. Definitely we'll get this back cranked up next Sunday, if not during the week, to go over a few different things, do a few different points of emphasis as well. Titans win. Derrick Henry goes for over 100 yards again. You got Corey Davis with over 100 yards receiving. Just to give you the stats on Derrick Henry, 28 carries, 133 yards, a touchdown, which, of course, was the game-winning touchdown, 29 yards out. Also, Derrick Henry goes over 1,000 yards rushing today in in the 10th game of the season. So he's on pace for at least 1,600 yards, if not more. So, hey, that's a great thing. Also, you have today was his 50th touchdown scored as a member of the Tennessee Titans. So, yeah, definitely he's putting up numbers and he's doing this thing. He didn't really get going early, had a couple big runs in the fourth quarter, and then, of course, the obvious one, the run to win the game. So, definitely got him involved. They got the number of carries I talked about, 25 plus carries. They got that. They did better on third downs in terms of stopping the Ravens when they needed to. They didn't stop them enough, to be in my opinion. And also another point as well. I just wanted to point out as well, just why I say the Titans offense didn't look as great. They looked solid, but they didn't look as great. Notice on third down conversions. Notice the third down conversions today. I don't know if I'm gonna pull this up real quick just to take a look at it. But if you noticed, a lot of the Titans third down conversions were or third downs were like 3rd and 7 or third and they were pretty good distances. And I don't know if you paid attention to those or anybody paid attention to those, but that actually is a huge thing. That's a huge thing for the Titans because if they're in 3rd and 4 or third and those type of things like that, it's manageable. If you get 3rd and 7 with the Titans, that's not necessarily where they want to be because then they're passing the football. They are way better when it's play action or situations where they can kind of dictate what they do as opposed to the defense. So that's why I would say they need to be better, especially next week against the Colts. They need to learn from that first game and move it into this game because that was pretty bad to get embarrassed on your home field, especially on when you're the only game on TV. Again, Mike Patton, you can catch my work on at the 3pointconversion.com. In terms of the Titans coverage, it's the number 3pointconversion.com. You can also find me on Twitter at Mike Patton82. Like I said previously, I live tweeted the entire game. The entire game. I don't know why I keep saying twit. I don't know why I say that. But anyway, yeah, live tweeted the entire game. And you can always catch my information there as well. If you have any questions, anything like that, yeah, hit me up. I'm always available to answer them. You all have a great day and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.